Almost 1 year ago now, a mostly hidden change to some of Minecraft's enchantments would secretly sneak their way into the game. And while at first there was controversy, eventually the community came to like such changes and saw them as an improvement to the game. However, for another Minecraft community of over 182,000 players, a competitive PvP based community of which you may have even seen on YouTube, this change has significantly harmed them. What has now resulted is a complicated and sticky situation where an update to an old and outdated Minecraft enchantment has left the community completely divided, with some liking the change and others avowing not to play until the change is reversed. So what even happened? Well, it all started almost a year ago now in May 2024, with the release of Minecraft 1.21 Snapshot 24W21A, where a small change was made to some of Minecraft's armor enchantments. Specifically, in a change which I couldn't find documented anywhere but the Minecraft wiki at first, Blast Protection's knockback reduction effect now stacked on multiple armor pieces, and Fire Protection's burn time reduction effect now also stacked on multiple armor pieces too. So as an example, if you had a full set of Blast Protection 4 armor and stood next to an end crystal prior to this snapshot, you would get knocked back slightly. The same would happen if you stood right on top or in the crystal, you would get knocked back into the air slightly by the explosion too. But now in this new snapshot, if you had a full set of Blast Protection 4 armor, you took absolutely zero knockback from explosions no matter what. In fact, you didn't even need a full set of Blast Protection armor to do so, just 2 pieces with Protection 4, as Blast Prot 4 provides 60% knockback reduction, so having 2 pieces with it puts you at over 100% knockback resistance. Prior to this snapshot, Blast Protection's knockback resistance did not stack, so even if you had a full set of Blast Prot 4, you could at max only reduce 60% of explosion knockback. Similar happened with Fire Protection, where prior to this snapshot, if you had a full set of Prot 4 Fire Protection armor, stepped into lava then stepped out, you would still remain on fire for a bit longer and take a bit more damage. But now in this snapshot, you can see that when I stand in lava, I'm not actually on fire at all, and as soon as I step out, I don't burn whatsoever and take no more damage. And that's because Fire Protection 4's 60% burn time reduction now stacked, and as such, just like with Blast Protection, if you had 2 pieces of armor with it, your burn time reduction would now hit 100%. Now, these changes were initially positively received. You see, Minecraft protection enchantments have always been quite unbalanced. The go-to has always been to just use a full set of Prot 4, as it reduces damage against all sources. The other 3 armor protections do reduce more damage, but only against specific damage sources, so for Fire Protection that's being on fire, Blast that's for explosions, and Projectile that's for, well, projectiles. And because these other 3 enchantments only reduce damage in niche situations, they were just not good enough to use in regular gameplay. Protection always was the best pick. But now with these changes making both Blast and Fire Protection substantially stronger, there would be more of a reason to instead have a mix of different types of protection enchantments on your armor instead. Also, this change was another step in the direction of Java and Bedrock parity, as Bedrock's system also stacked, which is probably another reason Mojang made it. So Mojang made a good change to an outdated Minecraft feature, and all was well, right? Well, not exactly, as many of you still haven't subscribed yet despite how close we are to 800k subs. No pressure, of course. Anyways, this wasn't the end of the story. About 2 weeks later in early June, Minecraft 1.21 pre-release 4 would release, and in this pre-release, changes were made to both Fire and Blast Protection again. Now, rather than giving 15% knockback or burn time reduction per level, for a total of 60% at level 4, each level of Blast Prot or Fire Prot now only gave 3.75% reduction. So, for example, 1 piece of Fire Protection 4 armor now gave a total of only 15% burn time reduction, with a full set only giving you 60% once again. Effectively, this hardcore nerfed both Blast Protection and Fire Protection. They were now 4 times less effective, as you now needed 4 pieces of armor with the max level enchantment to achieve the same effect which just 1 used to give you. So now, these already weaker enchantments, which were struggling to compete with the protection enchantment, were made even weaker. A really poor decision. Effectively, with this change, Fire Protection and Blast Protection became entirely useless again, as now there was no point sacrificing 1 protection enchantment armor slot for them. People weren't happy, and there was quite a bit of backlash online, with players bringing up how useless these enchantments already were, and how now they had just been made even more useless, and overall it was a very negative response from the community. It almost read like a joke. Both of these outdated enchantments were finally changed to be be more useful after years, and then immediately after were both hardcore nerfed. And luckily, due to the backlash, only 3 days later in Minecraft 1.21 pre-release Candidate 1, these changes were reverted, and now both blast protection and fire protection were fully effective again. They did also mention that both enchantments would be rebalanced in the future, but we'll get into that later. And all was well in the Minecraft world once more. Or was it? You see, these changes may have seemed good to the average Minecraft player and the general Minecraft community, which they were, to be clear, but little did most people know how devastating one change in particular would be to a specific and significantly sized Minecraft community, the vanilla PvP community. The vanilla Minecraft PvP community is a specific community of competitive players, part of the MC tiers ranking system. To explain, MC tiers is a large community of modern Minecraft PvPers who do duels or 1v1s and are given specific rankings based on their skill. In order to get higher ranked, players need to be tested and beat the same ranked or better players consistently. There's an entire website displaying the ranking system with the top players, and there's also a variety of modes with different rules and items used. For example, there's sword only PvP, which is just sword only, then there's also axe, UHC, which uses a variety of items, SMP, which also uses a variety of items, and many more. Specifically though, the vanilla Minecraft PvP game mode allows players to use a variety of items and make their own kits, but it is primarily centered around crystal PvP, which is the current PvP meta, as well as a few other items you commonly use in vanilla Minecraft. For those of you unaware, crystal PvP is a type of PvP which initially became popular on anarchy servers such as 2b2t, where you utilized the explosion damage from items like crystals and respawn anchors to rapidly destroy your opponent's HP. There are a bunch of specific strategies and ways to crystal, making it a very competitive mode. The vanilla Minecraft MC tiers community is the biggest of all modes, and as of this video, has over 182,000 members in their Discord. It is the most popular by far, and that's likely because it's also the form of PvP you see regularly on Minecraft SMPs, such as the Donut SMP, and in YouTube videos. Now, one thing that's important to note about the vanilla Minecraft PvP community, as I was told by Marlo, one of, if not the best vanilla Minecraft PvPers in the world, who is also an admin of MC tiers, and that's the fact that no matter what, the vanilla Minecraft category never strays from vanilla PvP and always updates to the latest version. So even if an update occurred that made crystal PvP entirely obsolete, they don't change. They keep an evolving and differing gameplay meta. And the thing is, with this recent blast protection change, it now means that players who engage in vanilla PvP no longer take any knockback from explosions. This has led to the mode becoming very boring, stale, and repetitive, as since without knockback from explosions, fights became very monotonous, focused around repeatedly anchoring. To explain it to those of you not familiar with crystal PvP, this is effectively like if knockback was removed from the game. So if you went to hit a player or a mob in a fight, they wouldn't get knockback at all. As you can see, removing knockback from fights makes them extremely boring, not as satisfying, and much more unenjoyable. It feels like there's significantly less skill involved, and it also feels very unintuitive. That's sort of how it's like now for vanilla Minecraft PvPers, and as Marlo told me, without knockback you feel much less impact from your attacks, making gameplay generally less satisfying, as well as being harder for new players to get into vanilla PvP, as it is less intuitive. Due to this change, some of the mode's top players even quit due to burnout, as fights are no longer as enjoyable. Effectively, this change to blast protection was now a double-edged sword, as while it made blast protection more useful and competitive with protection again, it also significantly harmed the gameplay of one of the game's most popular PvP styles, vanilla PvP, thus making the game much worse for a large portion of players. Just about a month ago, Marlo would make a petition on the Minecraft feedback website asking Mojang to revert the changes, which as of this video currently has over 1,300 votes in support of it, with many commenters echoing similar sentiments. But the issue is, unlike with other controversial changes Minecraft has made in recent history, such as them changing some important sprinting mechanics, reverting this change also has downsides too. It's a complex issue, as the average player base generally benefits from these changes, as it makes one of Minecraft's least popular enchantments finally useful again. It was a change with good intent. There's no one clear winner here unfortunately, but I can understand both perspectives. As Marlo tells me, she believes there is a chance Mojang might revert or change blast protection once again, due to Mojang explicitly stating they will be revisiting the enchantments in the update's patch notes, but the issue is, these problems are very time sensitive, and by the time Mojang Mojang actually gets around to acting and making up their mind, it may be too late. A good example of this was the randomized netherite armor knockback bug, whereby the knockback resistance given by netherite armor sometimes led to players taking no knockback at all. This bug was introduced in early 2020 during a 1.16 snapshot and took up into a Minecraft 1.18 snapshot released almost 2 years later to properly be fixed. 2 years is more than enough time for this blast protection change to cause some irreversible harm to the vanilla PvP community, which is why players are very concerned. So what is Mojang planning to do exactly? Well, that's the big question, and I guess we won't find out until they actually do end up doing something, which based on their track record could end up taking another 1 to 2 years, if not longer. I guess for now we'll just have to wait and see, but this entire situation is very unfortunate, as it seems no matter what happens, one side of the community will not be happy. I hope you all enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, thank you all so much for watching.